back to the Platform Podcast, episode number 9.
Number 9. How do you feel that you only made it to episode 9?
I'm pretty hurt. It's yeah, I know. I was hoping to be like 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
So, I see.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty bad.
Well, those were realistic expectations, no doubt.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling good. This is sweet.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here. I think my first question.
Oh wait, should I say my name?
Oh,
we should introduce you. Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Benji Zacharias, and I'm a scooter and a filmer.
Awesome.
Ignore the first part.
Yeah.
Actually, that answers my question because I was going to ask, what you call yourself. Like, we call ourselves skaters. I was like, before you came on, I'm like, is he a scoot kid? Is he a scooter-er? Or is he a
scootering?
Yeah. Scooterer, maybe. Scooter rider, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling great about either of them now that I'm thinking about it. But
that's what my question was.
I usually say scooterer,
Scooterer,
but that sounds awful if you say it that slow.
Whenever
I ride scooters.
Whenever I refer to people at scooter, I always say they're scooter riders because it's just easier to say.
That sounds better for sure.
Yeah. Because sometimes like you'll ask me if like you want to go hang out and skate. You will say, "Do you want to go ride?"
Yeah, that's the easiest, definitely.
Because usually, like me and you, we'd say, "Do you want to go skate?"
Right.
But I'm not going to say to Ben, "Let's go skate" if he's not skating.
I know what you mean, but no, yeah. Definitely,
Yeah. So.
But maybe if he did, maybe he would go skate.
Oh, true. I'm going to try that next time.
Dust off the globe penny board. Let's go. Go do something. But even if I say to like my scooter friends, so I'm like, I usually say let's go ride because I'm not going to say let's go scoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't.
Yeah.
But I just say ride.
Yeah. Isn't scooting kind of like when you like drag your butt on the ground? When you're like pulling yourself by a... That's scooting,
why we don't
isn't
say
it?
Yeah. Well, now that's why I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's why skating is... I'm sorry, Ben, but skating is just cooler because we don't have to worry about like how do we even call ourselves or...
Skating's had a lot of time to grow. Maybe in a few years I'll be able to confidently say, yeah, I do blank.
Raleigh.
Yes.
Why do we have a scooterer on the podcast?
Because he's a real good friend of ours, and he is also the guy that films a bunch of the stuff for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully more. Once the restrictions start to lift, I can do some more intentional filming.
Yeah, and I'll add to that to say, even though you do skate a bit, you jump on the board sometimes.
Every now and then,
which is sick. I always enjoy watching you practice your shoves and whatever else. But the other thing for me is, even though you scoot or scooter or whatever,
scooter ride,
scoot ride,
there you go.
You're always excited about what's happening with the skaters and what the tricks that they're doing when we're at the park. You're as excited for the skaters as for the scooters, and so as much as and even the which we're going to talk about yet is the filming. That part of it as well, like because you film and you are such a nerd when it comes to skate videos. We had to have you on. And so we're happy to have a scooterer on the podcast today.
I appreciate it. I think it's been fun to kind of intrude on the skate community and just kind of try to blend the two together because whenever I show up, there's no it's just all a big community now.
No rivalry or whatever.
No, I don't feel like that at all.
Yeah,
it's super fun.
It's funny when we have skaters from outside the community stop in and skate with us. And or maybe if we do a trip and you're along and from other communities, it looks weird to them that the skaters would be hanging out with the scooters because there isn't a lot of love between those two.
No.
Even though they share spaces, there isn't a lot of love. And so I've noticed the looks that we've got from guys like, what's he doing here?
Yeah.
But for us, like, you're definitely part of our community.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really appreciate is, like, you understand the etiquette. Though, if we look back at where the beef between the two it comes from the fact that most of the time scooterers are little kids that park in front of obstacles at the skate park.
It's
and
true.
they're so annoying.
Yeah, because like a lot of kids, if they want to roll around on something, like they have a scooter, and so they have like the razor with like and then they're there with their parents, and they're wearing like the bike helmet. You know
the
what I
bike
mean?
helmet with the spiked mohawk.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're just, and because like the thing is, like, they're as annoying to me as it would be to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of like, even like you see posts on Instagram, and they're like, this is what ruins skate parks, and it's like like scooters, and then it's like a kid with that helmet, and then they're comparing it to like Nija. They have the two pictures together.
Right.
It's like, but those are the two extremes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's unfortunately why you get such a bad rap, right?
Yeah.
Because it's easier for a kid to roll around a park on a scooter than on a skateboard.
Yeah.
Because you got a handle and it's just, they're more comfortable. It's easier to get started on.
Oh, for sure.
And so more kids younger will start that way than on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And so therefore you have all these little kids in the park, and hopefully someday they're going to understand and have park etiquette and be awesome.
Yeah. And I think that like once they get older, a lot of them are kind of like, there's so many of them when they're little.
Right.
And then once you get to my age, there's like, it's just like skating. There's like just a few that have stuck around.
Right.
Who actually understand,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how to do stuff.
Yeah. I remember talking to your dad a few years ago about, just wait. Like once he'll get to a stage where he's going to stop scootering and he's going to start skating. Cause I've seen it so many times, like with kids, you know, they start on a scooter, but then like maybe 14, 15 years old, they're like, okay, I want to skate now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
We've
I always
had that quite a bit here, even here at the park. Like, it's a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was one of the things I thought would happen with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't. I mean, you fool around on a board, but you still scoot. But part of it is you're probably at a higher level than what those kids are when they stop, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've just been like, it's been what I do for so long, and I'm so passionate about it. Even just like going and watching videos, like a lot of kids, they're just like flipping through Instagram. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where they take inspiration from.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. I've been so invested in it for so long that it's just kind of natural now.
Yeah.
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 And you're at a place where like you have some interest from sponsors and stuff, do you not?
Yeah, just like a local shop, Redwood in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing bigger than that. But
Okay.
I've been working for like something called Olay Brand for like a while, and I'm just doing writing for the website. It's like it's got started by this guy named Jared Adelson, who's a really, really well-known scooterer from scooterer. I said it. From where's he from? I think he's from like Orlando or something like that. And he's like got really well established there, and then he's like rode for a whole bunch of people, and then he started up this company, and he asked Graham and I to help out. So I do writing for the website, and Graham does like some Instagram stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is it kind of like, it'd be like the Thrasher of
similar
kinda?
he's but like smaller industry, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Like he's trying to get it to that point. He's trying to like build it up, but yeah.
So writing, like it's articles or
it's like whenever new videos come out, like on it's pretty much just like the website is putting all the videos that have been released all over the world on different channels, kind of having like one library, having them all there. So I find the videos, I put them on the site, I do like a write up for them.
Oh, okay.
And then like I'll
Okay. Yeah. I understand now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, is that a pretty time consuming job, or
it can be, especially with school.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I'm not doing school, I kind of treat that like my job, and it's super fun.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I have to do school as well, you know, I do it in the evenings, and I still love it. It's super fun.
Is it something that you're doing every day, scouring the internet for videos, or?
Actually, a lot of them just whenever I'm on Instagram. A lot of like the the noteworthy ones people will be putting on their stories and stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
I follow a lot of the guys, so
Yeah.
I'll just like write it down. I'll make a note, but
Yeah.
I do just like have access to their YouTube, and I just go onto the subscriptions and go through it sometimes, and I'll find extra ones. But a lot of them I'll find just like there's not very often where I'll go back months later and be like, I can't believe I missed this video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And plus, like with skating, that would be such a hard job because there's just so many.
There's just so much more content coming
even
out, right?
Thrashers putting on like world-class videos every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is insane.
Well, even like I watch some of the more Canadian content on SBC and King Skate magazine.
Okay.
They try and do the same thing and try and showcase Canadian stuff. Yeah. And even that, like, I mean, it's not nearly as much as Thrasher, but definitely, you know, it doesn't take long to get behind on watching the footage.
No. Yeah, like I recently, like, but before I would just kind of like go look at Thrasher and like just kind of every once in a while. But now that I've subscribed to them, I see like how much they post and like the diversity, because they'll have like the rough cuts and then they'll have like the fun skit videos, and then they'll have so many video parts coming out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting because did we talk about that on a previous episode about this idea of like the amount of content that comes out?
Yeah, we talked about. I'm actually editing that currently.
Oh, okay.
as we're recording this.
Yeah.
The episode about skate videos, and just how it's these days it's just people are getting famous off of Instagram clips. Like you're not putting out parts, and
actually
a little bit,
because like it's not like video parts are dying by any means. It's just kind of like the younger generation puts almost no emphasis in like filming real videos like that. You know?
Yeah. It's interesting because I was listening to the 9 Club Stop and Chat with Andrew Reynolds last night, and Andrew Reynolds was asking the same questions, like, you know, what's the balance of like throwing stuff on Instagram or saving it for a part?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then like even for himself, he was saying how, you know, he wants to film a part, and yet his sponsors want stuff on Instagram, and he's like, no, like if I'm filming a part, I can't put stuff on Instagram right now. I can't do both.
I love it whenever guys, they'll just like have a photographer with them, because if they're filming, there's always a photographer with them, right? And they'll just like post really high quality, just like still shots of them filming. Like that gets me so much more hyped than if they post an Insta clip from a park.
Right.
Because even like guys will get into the habit of posting like almost every day, like really hard clips that they just filmed at a park just on their phone.
Yeah.
And then it almost feels like, okay, like you watch their video part and you're like, I've seen them do better things on Instagram sometimes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's a little disappointing.
It cheapens it a little
bit. That's what they were talking about on the 9 Club. They're saying how if you see little clips of it on Instagram, then when the part comes out, it's like, that was good, but I seen it already.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these guys, they don't post anything, and all of a sudden they put out a part, and you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
Right?
I like it whenever guys find the balance, like, because they just like they'll be filming for their part and they don't focus on Instagram, but they'll just post like little fun things on Instagram. Like they'll just like, not even like difficult things, just like little quirky tricks.
Right.
That'll just be fun to watch. You're like, oh, I didn't, how did I even think of that? You know what I mean? But it's not like, nothing mind boggling is going on Instagram.
Yeah. Like the idea of all the slappies that you see on Instagram right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's a lot of people putting slappies in their video parts.
Yeah, I don't know, but there is sure a lot on Instagram.
Your video part, we're gonna get a slappy in there.
Yeah,
just because you said that.
Yeah, Ben's filming me a part.
Yeah, I was looking back at the folder like today or yesterday. We have like 4 clips.
4? Yeah,
and we started filming late.
Yeah, very late.
Yeah.
Like
we didn't go into the summer. We didn't go into the summer thinking we're filming you a part.
Yeah, I think it was pretty close to the end.
Yeah, I found the snow clip from the dump hill.
When I was like jumping over the
we found the
car door.
I don't know if, we found a car door in the trees.
Okay.
And we pull it out of the trees.
Yeah.
And Raleigh's just like, okay, we built a little kicker, like for sure can board slide it on his snow skate. And then I think I drove home and got my camera.
Oh my goodness.
Because I just was like, I just want to film something.
Yeah.
And like we never posted it, so maybe it's just gonna be like a fun little B-roll thing.
Yeah.
But like it's actually better the ones that you fall. You fall really hard.
Yeah. Like, it was like the first time I went, I was like, yeah, it should be fine. And I think I caught like where the door handle was. And just,
And at that point, he wasn't even using the snow skate. He was using my crappy Walmart snowboard with just like the little.
Yeah. You slip your feet in it.
So his feet were still on. He leaned forward, and the toe of the board just got caught, and he just like onto his shoulder. It was brutal.
Yeah. That was a pretty rough fall.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, filmed it though.
Yeah.
Exactly. Got to get it on film.
Yeah. I haven't seen it like off of the camera. I saw it on the little screen, but I haven't seen it since.
I was watching it today. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And I want to see this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We got off track real quick there. What were we talking about before?
Fine.
That was good.
Love it.
Yeah, that was good. So you are getting all our old footage off of the mini DV tapes from the old Canon GL1.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate because I'm excited to be able to have that footage. Like it's just been sitting there and I'm like, oh man, like it's going to be so much work to get that off. And you're doing that for us now.
Yep.
And in fact, you brought some of the clips today, which I'm excited. I'm sure you noticed, most of, like I've been posting them on the platform Instagram and getting positive feedback from it. Like guys
they're sick. I like them.
Guys are appreciating that. And so
it's fun to get all the stuff off, like it's kind of, I wasn't around whenever like the original portage scene was a thing. Like it was fun seeing what you guys got up to on all the trips. It's sweet.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you about. Like, curious what kind of comments you have about the footage you're seeing. What kind of stands out or what, I don't know. I'm curious if you have any comments to make about watching some of that footage.
Well, first of all, I'm just happy that I'm even getting it off because that means that I can have the camera and use the camera. So that's super sick. And I'm really happy about that. And I'm excited for the summer. We can get into that later.
Yeah.
But it's funny. There wasn't actually like a lot of super intentional filming, like guys trying to get a clip and like the same guy over and over. It was a lot of just like, okay, there's a session happening. Somebody's at the edge of the park just filming everything.
Oh, okay. So it's all from far away.
A lot of it's from far away. There's a few good fisheye clips. There's like one of those I think I was telling you, like one of the red Target balls, one of those cement balls, and like that was really fun to watch because that was a battle. Yeah,
when Bocce doing that in California.
Yeah.
Just outside our hotel was a Target, and they have those red cement balls.
Yeah.
And so we were having a sesh there, and so he worked hard at getting that. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a sick clip.
Yeah. Yeah, so is most of the footage that you've gone through so far like trip footage?
It's a lot of trip footage. There was, yesterday I was actually putting one of the tapes on, and I think it was a competition at the Campbell Soup Park.
Okay.
Like, because
DC competition probably.
I don't know. But the guy who was filming, it wasn't you. You were judging. I saw you over the clipboard. Whoever was filming wasn't zooming in. Like, guys are on the other end of the park, and he's not zooming in. Like, he's right in the quarter pipe, and you're just like, what is he doing
so far
over
away?
there? Yeah.
Which is what the footage would look like if somebody's filming at the park and not moving either, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but you know what? There has been good stuff, but I can't remember specifically because, like, I find like an hour chunk every once in a while, and I do a tape.
Yeah.
But some of it was like a long time ago, and I feel like the tapes that I did a while ago were better than the ones I've done recently. So I can't remember anything specific except for like the Target clip was the one that stood out for sure.
Oh, okay.
And there was some Millennium in Calgary. There was some BMXing at the.
Yeah, we had one trip where we did a trip out west where it was a BMX skate trip. So we had one van of BMXers and another van of skaters.
Yeah, there was like almost no mixed clips. It was all just like, okay, there's like BMX footage and then it cut and then there's skate footage.
Yeah. I don't know how that would have worked if using one camera. I don't remember that was probably pre.
You know what? I think that a lot of guys I think that there was more cameras than just the GL1.
I think so.
I was telling you that.
I don't know if the GL1 was even around then yet. It might have been like little handhelds filming that. Yeah, I think that was before we had the GL1.
GL1's sick. I'm really excited about it.
What makes you excited about the GL?
I've just wanted a standard definition camera for so long. And then whenever I saw you had one, I was like, okay, I need to make a deal. I need to make a deal because it's collecting dust up there.
Yeah, it was, and we thought it wasn't working.
Yeah,
and then obviously it's working for you.
And it's worked surprisingly well. Like there's been one time where it's had like the lines.
Right.
But then I just I realized that I was just doing something wrong, and then I fixed it. I was going back too far in the tape.
Okay.
And then I was taping over a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But then now it's working well. But mostly what's getting me excited about it is I was easing into filming last summer with the guys, and everybody was hyped on filming, which is sweet. Like Tuesday nights, like everybody was wanting to film.
Yeah.
But this summer, we're going into the summer like knowing, okay, people want to film.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna, and this winter now that I can, I'm getting the tapes off. I'm kind of learning how to use it. I'm easing into it, and then in the summer we can just go nuts, and hopefully we can get a lot of cool stuff.
And you got a good lens for it now.
I got a new fisheye for it. And I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
It's a fisheye.
Yeah.
It's like a real.
It's
real deep one. Yeah.
It's real deep. Yeah. And it has like, what's the black vignette?
Yeah.
It has a little bit. It's weird though. It's not even. I don't know how to fix that, but it looks super sweet. I'm excited about it.
We had Colin last episode.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about the difference between SD and HD.
Yeah.
You have both as well.
Yeah, I do.
So let's talk, like, you're super psyched on doing the SD.
Yeah.
You've been filming in HD for a while now.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I think the difference is, like, the GL1s are really high quality standard definition camera. But the HD camera that I have, like, the lens is sick, but the camera itself isn't like, it's not like a camcorder, you know, it's not like a really top quality. So I think that I'm excited to film on the GL because it's just like, it's something that's meant for this pretty much. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Okay.
Because it's going to look so good. But I think that if you film HD, like on like a camcorder, which hopefully eventually I'll get one of those. But I think that it just depends what you're going for, you know? I don't think that I like one more than the other. Do you guys like? What's your preference?
I'm kind of in between because I like the videos that have a mix. Like if I'm watching a skate video, like I like a mixture where it's like the roll up is in SD.
Well, that would be like Super 8 though, which is like even further, like that's even older.
Right. Yeah. But when it's like a little bit grainy or whatever, and then whatever.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day actually.
Yeah.
Like if you have like some like 8mm like B-roll, it almost gives it more texture or something. Like it just like you because there's an actual difference you can see between like when it's B-roll and when it's clips.
Right.
You know, because if you're just filming it all the same, it's kind of hard to like. It's not difficult to see when it's B-roll, but it's I don't know. It's more just like I don't know. I think it flows better.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that makes a little bit of sense to me. I don't know if I 100% agree. Like I do agree with the idea of the B-roll, but you can do that with filters in post.
I suppose
as well.
Yeah.
So
I guess some guys do that.
I
think the primitive video might have even. Yeah.
Really?
I think for me the difference is, which we talked about last week with Colin, is the idea of. With HD, it's so wide that you get so much on the sides.
That's true.
Whereas with SD, you can focus so much more on the skater. Like you can zoom in a little bit closer or something. Like I think that's the main thing for me.
Do you prefer it? Do you prefer SD?
We talked about this in one episode.
With Colin, we were talking about this.
I think before that even. I think we talked about it too. I don't know.
Yeah, so I love the crispness of HD.
Yeah.
But I love the frame of SD.
I've seen videos recently where they're HD, but they've cut it down.
Oh.
And they've just been filming it like in the square mode, and it looks super sick. It looks really cool. Yeah, but I think your original question was just like, how do I feel about like my HD and SD cam. And I think it goes back to like, because like my HD camera, it's not super crispy. So,
but it isn't a cheap one. Like
it's not cheap, but it's not like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. The lens is crazy though. Maybe that helps.
And that's what I find with the GL. Like after watching HD footage and then looking at the GL footage, I'm just like, oh man, like did we forget to focus on that thing or what? Like it just like even those clips. Now those clips that I've been putting on Instagram, those are for whatever reason they were saved in a weird format. So converting them, we lost quality on them. And so then by the time they get to Instagram, they look like garbage. And I'm like,
because Instagram does destroy quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I would say, yeah, I prefer HD to that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like watching, like when there's new videos come out and they're in SD, it doesn't bother me. I do like that.
Yeah. It depends on the rider too, you know? Like some guys, you see them filming standard def and like their parts, like it's almost like grungy. They're riding like grungy spots. And even if they're riding like pools, I think standard def looks so sick. And like I couldn't picture some guys who film all their parts on standard def filming HD. Some guy like, and because if you're, I don't know, like if you're just like a cleaner rider and you're riding like a lot of handrails and stuff, I think like someone like Nija, like he's not gonna film a standard def part. Right. I don't think.
Right.
He's too like, I don't know. He's almost too athletic to film a standard def part.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I think a lot of skaters think that way too.
Yeah.
He's just I find he's just kind of like a jockey, kind of.
And nothing against him, but
no,
I think
he's an amazing skater,
insane,
but he's just,
you know what I mean. Like I don't think he would film a standard def video.
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that you were a bit of a nerd when it came to videos, which obviously by this conversation that's proven.
Yeah.
So when you watch you watch so many skate videos.
Honestly, I watch a lot of scootering videos. I watch quite a few skate videos. I'm trying to watch more skate videos.
Right.
But
so what makes a good video?
We touched on it a little bit. I love the Super 8mm B-roll. I think that it just adds something. I think that if the production is really good, that like it doesn't have to be just hammer after hammer. Like it doesn't have to be all the way through amazing. Yeah. But like we were saying before, like if you're filming on a phone, like they better be amazing tricks, because like the film is not doing nothing for you.
Right.
But I think that, I don't know, just a video with a good flow. And yeah, obviously if they're really bad tricks, it's not gonna be a good video if just the filming's amazing. Right. But yeah, I don't know. And a good diversity. I think like trick selection and spot selection. If guys are just doing the same thing over and over and over, it kind of ruins it. Yeah. They, like if they're doing something on a spot where you're like, oh, I wouldn't have even thought of that. That adds something to it. I was watching this rough cut. I've been watching a lot of rough cuts on Thrasher.
Okay.
I think the process is so sick. And because some of them I haven't even seen the real video, which is weird. But there's this guy I think he's from Norway. And he was just like, and he was just hitting like everything. You'd be like, how would he even think of that? Like he just was using spots differently. And I think that's super cool.
You know what his name was?
Nope. No, I don't remember. I just, I could tell he was from Norway. I had seen the spots.
Maybe he was just in Norway.
No, his name was something that I was like, okay.
Oh. His name is Norway.
He's Norwegian. His name was Norway. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Norway.
So speaking of that, like saying that, not understanding what he's thinking or how he's come into that. Yeah. Does watching skate videos change the way you look at spots for scootering?
A little bit. Yeah. Because like they do use things very differently. Like, you know, they have to like even run-ups are different.
Right.
And like, because I think like scooter, like the wheels on the scooter can take more, like if it's a little bit of a bumpy rollaway, it's no problem. Yeah. But skaters, they have to use they have to like, oftentimes I would say like they have to like build little roll-ins. They have to like put wood down to make spots rideable. And I think there's less of that in scootering. And I think filming with you guys this summer is probably going to like make me realize even more. when I'm actually in the process, like seeing like, oh, it's going to be a different process of filming.
Yeah.
Probably.
And and even finding the spots, because I know sometimes the spots that you hit, you'll be like, I don't know if like the rail on the Red River College, like the run up is so short, but on a scooter, like
you can hit it from the side. Graham's hit it from the side.
I seen that.
And even like the clinic, it has like the precision ride thing. It's near the library.
Right.
The physio.
Oh yeah,
the brick precision ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No skateboarder is hitting that.
Right.
Because it doesn't slide for board slides, and like they're not just gonna ride on it because it's like this. Yeah. It's like this wide. Yeah. But we can like precision ride and do stuff like that. So it is. Yeah. It is really different, and especially when I'm filming with Raleigh, like we have to we spend a lot of time just like looking for spots. Yeah. We need to go back to Bill's. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It was like I started that right when it like started getting cold and whatnot, and then I think we got pretty busy. I took off to Vancouver.
You did.
And then it got cold.
Okay.
We'll get back. We'll get back.
So being part of our community here, you're part of our Tuesday night sessions, and then you're at the park whenever it works. Mm-hmm. Give us your take on the local skate community.
I think it's starting to get really sick. We're starting to be like a more tight knit. Like for like a few years ago, it was kind of like every once in a while we'd have like, you know, different guys showing up, especially when we were like going along planes. Like you never knew who was going to be in the van.
Yeah, that's right.
Like it was sometimes like us three and like my dad and like Cam Lehman, you know?
Yeah. And he was on a bike.
I want to film him apart because I think it'd be sick. But, and then, you know, there'd be like sometimes the van would be full of kids that I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck? But this year, I think this past year, it's been more like consistent. Right. And I'm really excited about that consistency because I think we're going to get to know each other better. We're going to have the opportunity to like do things more intentionally, like film and like even like I've seen Jaden and Joel, like they push each other to learn stuff. And I think that's sick because if you don't know each other well, you're not going to like battle for a trick.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
even Brady, I know those two. Sometimes
He's good.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll like Brady will do something and Jaden will be like, oh, I wish I could. And then they like go back and forth, and it's a bit of a competition, and which I think is good for them to push each other.
But it's nice because it's pretty small scene.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not like there's a whole bunch of like it's pretty small. So like we can, if we want to go do something, we can all go together. Yeah, for the most part, it's not like there's, you know, like 25 of us and we have to like, okay, who's driving? You know, who's gonna? But no, it's sweet.
Load the 8-person van.
Yeah.
I think we've had 9 people in that van once. But
how would you say this scene compares to like the old scene?
It depends what era we're going to talk about. Like, I mean, I've been through so many different eras.
I've seen like almost one.
Yeah. So like when we had Colin on, he talked about how like the scene was just pumping then. There was like so many guys skating, and
that's awesome.
And so a skate night, we talked about going to PCI, and you know, basically you just have manual pads there, and yet you'd have like, I don't know how many guys, we'd probably over 20 guys easy out there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fluctuated over time, and I think part of it is, if I look at an overview of our community long term, I think it, without wanting to take a lot of credit or whatever for it, I feel like, so when we had the outdoor platform, that was the very first kind of skate scene, was the original platform, and it was I think back then there was probably over 60 skaters in Portage.
Wow.
That skated regular.
Every session would just be like a street jam, hey?
It was just huge.
Like the hype would be very different.
Yeah. And then for whatever reason, a lot of those guys aged out, moved away, whatever, went to school. And so then the next phase was the indoor park, which was still pretty good. We had a pretty good amount of kids that came there. In fact, I have a stack of waivers. So everybody that ever skated there had to have a waiver signed, and I have over 1,000 waivers. Really?
Wow. Did people like come like from Winnipeg? Did they come visit? Yeah.
We had guys that came from Winnipeg quite regular.
Oh, sweet.
Especially because we didn't have an age limit and the Edge did. And so we get a lot of the over 18 guys would drive out to Portage to skate.
Yeah.
And then like we had kids coming in from McGregor, from Carmen, Neepawa. Like we had people come from all over to skate there. And those ones weren't super regular, but you know, they'd come, you know, maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And then you had the kids that were there every day. And so, that the scene then was pretty good. I don't know if it would have been as big as the original platform. But then when that closed down, the skaters disappeared. Like I was thinking about it just this last week, how there are guys that I don't remember skating with them after that closed down.
Really?
And they were guys that were like decent skaters.
Yeah.
And yet I'm like, did they ever skate after that? I'm not sure.
Was the arena park there at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By then the arena was there. But yeah. And in the summer guys used it. Yeah. Guys used the arena, but in the winter, then everyone was indoor. But yeah, then when the skate park closed, the actual original platform was still up.
Okay.
And so when it closed, I would head over to the platform, hoping that I'd find somebody to skate with there, and there'd be no one there. And so after a while, Raleigh and I were talking about this earlier, how we don't enjoy skating by ourselves very much. Like you need the community to hype you up or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just eventually leave. And then I'd run into a skater sometime later and be like, oh yeah, like I went to the platform, but no one was there. So I left, and they're like, yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was like everyone, like I remember some of the kids, they just got into video games big time then.
Nice.
And other ones, it was just a hard time. It was just, where is everybody? And that's why I started the shop, just so that we had a place to connect. And then it grew again. And so that's the era that Colin was part of, which he said he remembers a lot of people skating. Yeah. And that was because we had the shop. Guys could meet up there, get hyped on skating together, and go skate.
I could come by and grab some stickers every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because I was like 5. Just come with my dad, and I'd be like, Steve, do you have any free stickers? There's no way I'm paying for them.
So yeah, and then after the shop closed down, then we went through this phase again where, like, it's almost like there's a gap in the skate scene now, where we have the older guys like Jaden and Joel and Brady, but then there's like this gap of like maybe 4 or 5 years.
No, it'd be more than that.
More than that? Where there's no skaters in that age.
Yeah.
And then now we're starting to see young guys come up again.
Because after the shop closed, was it like a similar effect to when the indoor park closed? Like, did it just kind of disappear until now?
I think it was a combination, because at that time was a lot of the core guys were kind of the same age. Yeah. And they were all like going to school or moving away or whatever. And so there wasn't a lot of guys left. And I left at that time too. I went to Costa Rica to work, do skateboarding down there. And so, it was like I was gone. Lots of people were gone. So there wasn't a lot of people doing it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it kind of died. And now we are in the process of rebuilding.
It's kind of cool to see it from the initial stages, hey? Because even like a few years ago, like it wasn't as big as it is now. Like, not saying it's big now,
right?
But like it's kind of been cool to see it grow, and especially with the new platform,
right?
That's been sweet. you know?
Yeah, having the indoor park definitely helps because it's a place like guys don't forget about skateboarding over the winter.
Yeah.
And in summer they've gone off to something else. It's something you can do all year round. So that's helpful. I don't know what COVID's going to do to that, but
I think the guys who were like the core in the summer, like Jaden, Joel, Brady, those guys, I think they're probably like itching to get back to it. And I think that like as soon as it opens, they'll be here. But some of the guys who we just saw every once in a while, who have just kind of like came just every once in a while, I think that some of them we might not see them for a while, even when it comes back.
Yeah.
Maybe. I was talking to Blair the other day.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, what have you been up to? He's like, oh, me and Hunter the other day, one of the days this month, like in January when it was like +6 or whatever.
Yeah.
He said him and Hunter were like skating on his street.
Oh, that's sick.
And I'm like, I said, you guys are so in love with skateboarding and that's awesome. Like, yeah.
That's
and
the
so,
thing. Like if you're
that's
that
commitment.
If you're that passionate about it, like you're gonna make it work.
Yep.
However it is.
Yeah.
It's like today. It's like really cold, and my driveway was clear.
Right.
And I went and scooted on my driveway
until
my headset seized up. And I was like, okay, it's too cold for this.
Yeah.
This is
Obviously.
stupid. I'm like wearing mitts.
Yeah. A skateboard probably wouldn't have seized, just saying.
I don't think it would have. Nope.
So we're definitely in the rebuild stage and excited about the young guys coming up. Even just thinking about skate camp that we did in summer, hoping that some of those guys that came to skate camp experienced it, got boards, that they're gonna stay on them and keep going.
That's like 30 people with boards, 30 new kids with boards. I feel like there's going to be a few of them that walk away with continuing.
Were some of them pretty young? Like
a lot of them were pretty young. Yeah.
I think we tried to go nowhere under 8, right?
Right.
But then there was one that was like 6. Yeah.
That'd be super sweet to like find like 1 or 2 kids who are like really into it and watching them grow over the next few years into like really good skaters. That'd be super fun.
Yeah, and that's what we're definitely hoping for.
Yeah.
And just continuing to do things like that. That's going to promote skateboarding in the community.
Yeah.
Keep building the crew, and that's the plan.
And head to California.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking as soon as we get out of COVID, we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Get some footage on the GL.
Yeah, exactly. Just going back to the community,
Yep.
I do appreciate, Ben, the part that you play in being a part of building the community. And just like the way you encourage kids and get them hyped on skating or scootering, whatever. Kids appreciate your positivity in the skate community, and it's going to be nothing but helpful to build. And so, I just want to make sure that I say that publicly, that
thank you.
You're definitely a positive input for our community here locally.
That's the only reason we brought you on.
Yeah. Well, my positivity.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you. I am very excited this summer though to get some stuff done. Because I think by the end, guys were like actually like want every session. Like I'd bring a camera and they'd be like trying stuff. I think that if we even like, I'm not saying go on a trip, which would be sick, but even if we just hit spots in Portage
or even Winnipeg,
yeah, I think we could get some good stuff.
And I think it's one of those things that, like, I know for me, you'll be like, oh, do you want me to film something? I'll be like, no. And I think a lot of people are like that. But then once you bring out the camera, they're like, oh, let me try this. And so
I got to convince you that I got to film it sometime.
Yeah. So I think that it's like that for quite a few other people.
Yeah.
And so if you just bring out the camera, start filming people, everyone will be down with it. So
yeah, except for Steve.
Yeah,
Steve doesn't let me film.
Steve runs away from the camera.
Yeah.
I will say that I am excited about the idea of having somebody that's excited to film.
Yeah.
In the past, it's always been like, oh, we need to be filming, but everyone wants to skate. Nobody wants to film.
Yeah.
And And so just having somebody like yourself that's pumped to do it gets me excited about what we're going to get for footage this year, because we have somebody that actually wants to do it rather than, oh, well, I guess I'll do it because nobody else is.
I'm happy I like it so much, because like a lot of guys, it just feels like a job.
Right.
You know, like the only reason they'll film is because their buddy filmed them their last clip.
Right. Yeah. And they don't have the patience then to see it through and stuff. I know on a few trips that I've been on where I have been filming for guys, and they're like apologizing all the time because it's taken so long. And I'm like, no, like, I know how this goes. But they're so used to having filmers that don't want to be behind the camera that they feel like they have to apologize all the time.
Ben's like that too. When I was trying that behind Bill's, like, we were there for like...
We were there for a bit.
Like a bit for a couple of days.
We went back a few times.
And like, it'd be like half an hour, 45 minutes in, I'd be like, oh man, like, we can go home. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't... And he's like, dude, I can be here all night. Like, I think I said that last podcast, but... it was
I
just
do
like,
enjoy it. A lot.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Like, if your filmer is giving you permission to keep going, that's huge, I think.
Yeah, it actually kind of motivates me, to be honest.
Right.
Because if they're like, if the filmer is just like, it's like, are you gonna land it? Then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna land it like now. I'm like, you're not hype. Like,
you're sure not gonna land it now,
Ben is like a huge hype man. Like, you're a big hype man. So it's like, honestly, like, out of like most of the people that I ride with, you're one of the bigger hype men.
So the combination of wanting to film and being hyped and encouraging for guys, that's just a huge asset to our community, which I appreciate. I was thinking of a few years back, I was in this place where my body was just beat. And it, like, in the morning, it felt like I had to crawl to the bathroom because, like, my body didn't want to work anymore. And it just took so long to get going in the morning. And I was thinking to myself, I must be getting too old to skate. And so this was kind of in like early spring when the snow was still on the ground, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I guess I'm good this year. Like, my body just can't handle the skating anymore. And so I'm just going to have to film, because I wasn't ready to give up on the community yet. I still wanted to be part of it. But I
don't think you ever will.
Right. And so if I'm not filming, or if I'm not skating, then I guess I'll be behind the camera. And so I kind of like had a couple months in spring before the snow melted to kind of gear up for, like, okay, you're a filmer now. And then spring,
checking your bank account for the new camera.
And then spring came and we started skating. And so here I am, like, filming guys or whatever. And the whole time I'm like, I just want to skate. And finally I was just like, you know what, scrap it. I'm not enjoying this. I don't mind filming sometimes, but I do like skating too much to film all the time. And so, like, if we go to a spot that's above my skill level, I'm happy to be behind the camera and filming guys. And I can have all the patience in the world for them to get the trick. But if we're at like a skate park or somewhere where there's something that's skatable by me and I'm super hyped to skate it, it's hard to be behind the camera. And so that's the way it was that year. And I'm just like, scrap it, I'm skating. And so I gave up on that idea, and I just skated. And I'm actually glad, like, that's a few years ago now. And I don't remember the last time I felt like that, like getting up in the morning and feeling so beat. I don't know why it was that winter, but now I'm like, no, I'm happy to skate. And it doesn't even cross my mind that, oh, well, you're too old, so you're going to have to film. I'm like, no, I can still skate. And so I appreciate people that are happy to be behind the camera.
I don't even know how, like, I started wanting to film more. I don't even really, like, it's probably just from watching videos and saying, like, I want to recreate something like this. even if it's not me riding. I just want to like make sure that the content's quality, I guess. I don't know.
It's a pretty new thing, right?
Like it's relatively new. Like
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, like when I bought the camera from Colin, like I had been looking for a camera for a while because I was kind of, I don't want to say I was done with Insta clips because I wasn't, but like I was like, okay, I want to do something more than just this. And getting the new camera was a way to ensure that I was, okay, now I have the tools to do something more, to actually work towards something instead of just dumping everything on Instagram.
Right.
And then I can film other people too. So it started with like just filming with Graham, where like we would film each other. And then, yeah, I just kind of kept bringing it to the park and filming more people. And I was like, okay, I actually really like this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's almost like you're right there. You're like in the process. You're like working hard. You're trying to make everything work, but you don't have the stress of like if the trick isn't working out. Because sometimes like I can get frustrated at a spot. Like I don't get mad. I don't get mad easily.
Right.
But like if I'm not landing a trick, I get pretty mad sometimes. And
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen it a couple times.
Very okay. Like I'm not like yelling at people, but I'll just get really frustrated.
Just kind of toss your scooter.
It's not often, but sometimes. But yeah, if I feel like if I'm behind the camera, it's like I don't have any stress at all. But I'm like, okay, things are still happening, but I'm just like, this is my job.
Yeah.
All right.
And I got to make sure that like, okay, it's recording.
Yeah.
Now I just got to do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
awesome.
That's not to say I don't enjoy filming video parts and stuff for myself.
Right.
Because I do.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if I start getting frustrated with that, sometimes it's nice to switch to filming, and then you're like, okay, I'm still part of this, but I don't have the same stress levels.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's for me, like I said, when I would film at spots where like it's too big or whatever for me, I'm not hitting anything anyways, then to get behind the camera is fine because like you say, you're still part of it, but you're like, there's no pressure now that you have to do something that's beyond your skill, right? Like it's just make sure you're hitting record. That's the main thing.
Yeah. And that's a big problem with me. Like if I want to film a video part for myself, like especially I'm trying to like tone down my excitement this winter because I'm going to try to film a part in the summer and I have all these ideas and I'm just like, I'm writing them down. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be so sick. And this is what happened last summer. I get to the first spot and I'm working on this. I'm like, oh wait, this isn't going to happen. And it's been in my head for so long. And I'm like, okay, this isn't actually going to happen. Why did I think this would work? And then it's just like, okay, this sucks. So I'm trying to tone down my excitement. I'm trying to write down realistic things.
Yeah.
And then get after it.
Is the nose manual on the barrier one on your list?
It is not. No. The nose manual on the barrier has been haunting me for years.
Yeah.
When I see it, I'm like, okay. Trying to maybe precision ride it, but could you imagine if you slipped out of that?
Well, and I'm thinking because a scooter wheel is kind of pointed in, right?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I know where you're getting. I know where you're getting at. Like it would be easy. It wouldn't.
No.
It would be like no.
I'm on your Listen to me.
Once I landed in it, it would be hard to hurt myself because it's pointed in, and because for people who are listening to this. At the portage skate park, there's a barrier, and at the top of the barrier, there's coping, and it's right beside each
double
other.
rail.
It's So I guess if I landed on it and the scooter wheel's like in the groove, I'd be golden. Right. And I just gotta pop up that back wheel, hey Steve, and nose manual it. But
exactly.
But what were you gonna say?
But so what I'm thinking is because it's a double rail.
Yeah.
And then your wheel's like this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like scooter rails are kind of rubbery, right?
Yeah, urethane.
Yeah, but they're like soft.
Yeah.
So when they go in there, it'll squish it in too much and it'll get caught, I think.
It wouldn't do that actually. They're hard enough that it wouldn't squish.
Really? Is it that it is hard enough? It
would roll true through it.
Okay.
For sure. It's just the first commitment would be the hardest thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't even do nose manuals on like a normal mani
I'm just
pad,
talking
though.
about precision rides at this point.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
No, I know, but the whole nose manual thing, like you should probably learn nose manuals
is ridiculous.
First.
And he told me to do this like years ago.
Yeah.
Like manuals were difficult for me at that point.
Yeah.
You should nose manual the barrier. And I'm like, no. And he's like, what? You told me to call you a trick.
That's what I was gonna just clarify for our listeners.
Yeah.
Is Ben will come to me at the skate park and he'll be like, "What should I do?"
Yep.
And I don't know why he still comes to me, because I suggest things and he won't do them.
It's been less lately. But I was gonna try to deny it, but I cannot.
Thank you.
Because that definitely happens, and it's like, because I hate it when people do that to me. And it's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. It's like, well, why would you even ask? I keep doing it though. I keep seeing Steve.
You keep coming to me.
I keep coming to He gives me very difficult things. I've done it. I've probably actually done the trick one time. Like maybe.
There's probably more than one, but
I'd say
it's a very low percentage.
One or two is pretty generous, actually. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
It's just like this years and years and years of me being on skate trips and stuff. I've gotten to the place where guys will come to me and they'll say, and it's self-motivation is what it is, right? Like guys are like trying to get a trick and they're just, it's not coming or whatever. And it's this thing, I don't know where it comes from, but they'll say, "Steve, this one's for you."
We've talked about this before.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, don't even say that, because I've never seen anyone land a trick when they've said that.
No, it better be a super easy trick.
It's basically, if you say that, you're not landing the trick. So don't do this one for me.
That's why I love saying that to you.
You've been trying this trick for an hour and a half and you're not even close. Yeah. Don't even put this on me.
I wonder if that's ever worked. Like, I wonder if somebody just like the ender to a video part, they're just like done, just like Taylor Filmer, this one's for you, and they land it. Can you imagine how good that would feel if that trick was for you? But what a rush.
Yeah, but I think it's like they're trying to trick their head or something, right? It's the head game that's going on.
If they're not just doing, if they're not doing it for selfish reasons, they're gonna do it. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that are listening to this have said, "Steve, this one's for you."
A lot of people in this room have said that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure both of us have said
that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe if we film I was gonna say full length. That's generous. If we film a video part this summer with all the guys, it's gonna be called the Platform "This One's For You" video.
Or Steve, this one's for you.
Yeah, still. Yes. Steve, this one's for you video.
Yeah. But we won't show you any of the clips until
except for his 150, which is the end.
Yeah. And it'll be a whole video of no one making a trick.
Yeah, no one's
it's
landing.
Just all bails.
And it's not even a B-side. The lands just never come.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The ender can be Raleigh falling on the dump hill.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
This is my chance to finally hit the provincial building rail.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have to land it.
No. Yeah, we can do anything we want with this. Yeah, let's hit up El Toro. Guarantee you I can fall really hard on El Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's 5-0 though.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Watch it daily.
Yeah.
Just kidding, I don't. But it's
that
nice,
is a good shot though.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I think actually I was watching it back. I used to think that was just like the best clip I ever filmed, just because he did it so well, and I thought the filming was really good. Watched it back recently. Wasn't as good as I remember the filming.
Oh really?
I could do better.
Interesting.
So we are going to do better, Steve.
Well, I feel like I can do better too. Like,
ooh,
I feel like I've got, like, I can grind further around that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll be able to go back to Long Plain this summer.
That's what
I'm thinking.
Because that would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to refilm that clip and
for sure. And if we do like nightly videos,
right?
Oof.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday, you could just do it a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly. By the end of summer, I can just do the whole thing all the way around.
Yeah.
We how long were we gonna make that part? We were gonna make a part for you that summer, and we are gonna call it.
We're gonna 45.
45? Is that what it was?
No. It was like 48, I think.
Oh, 48.
47 or 48.
Okay.
Second clip for my 48th year.
That's
or something.
what it was. It wasn't seconds. It was minutes. It was going to be
tell
all B-roll in that clip.
Should we tell them about the B-roll that we got in the van?
Which B-roll did we get in the van? Oh, when he forgot the propane? Okay, let me tell a story here real quick. This is why I came on this podcast, to tell this story. So we're in the van going out to Long Plain, and Steve has this big plan. We're going to get there, and we're going to barbecue. And so like we have the van is just packed, bikes, scooters, skateboards in the back, and the barbecue. And we're halfway there, and Steve just goes, "Oh, I forgot the propane." And I'm trying to do that thing. I'm in the back because I'm just getting into filming now. And I'm filming Steve's face in the rear view mirror. And he's just driving, and I'm like, this is going to look sick. And then he just goes, "Oh, I forgot the propane." And I just like, the camera just turns off right there because I was like, okay. Like, I should have kept going. It would have been even funnier. But.
Oh, no. I forgot the propane for the barbecue.
No way.
That's a really good clip that I still have. I have it. I have it like, I think I made a joke folder that's just called Steve's video part. And it's like, it's just B-roll. I think there's maybe one clip of you saying something funny when Joel was trying to get the board slide on the yellow rail.
Okay.
You said something weird.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny. And then I have the 5-0, and then I have I forgot the propane.
Yeah, I went over to Ben's place one time and we watched that clip like 10 times.
It's really good. And you can only like make out what he says if you make sure you listen first, like listen really closely.
Yeah.
You can just hear the disappointment. You can hear the propane. It's really funny. So I think that if we got more stuff like that, you could
I can get a
Put
40.
Yeah.
Now it would have to
Really
be
solid project.
49 minutes.
49. Maybe we should plan for 50.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can make a 50-minute video. Lots of slow-mo.
No,
Nobody's going to watch
I
it.
thought you were
Lots
going
of
to say 50 seconds. I thought that's what we were planning.
Yeah,
This-
we could do
this
the
isn't gonna
primitive thing where we show the same clip over and over at different speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But since I don't have the propane clip from different angles, I could just like have it like this, and then I could like switch it around.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
I could
flip
flip
the
it. I could crop it.
Yeah.
It's like spinning. Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
forgot the propane.
Crank the audio. Yeah. Yeah. We had a weird idea that we were gonna. I forget. You and I just have funny conversations, but we were talking a while ago, Steve, and we were just saying we're gonna film you and my dad a split part, and my dad's gonna ride either his unicycle or his BMX. And he can't ride the unicycle, so that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be a good video.
Yeah. There we go.
But
Maybe
seriously,
the,
I do want to
the
film some
geriatric part.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do need to film you some clips. Seriously.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
need to get some clips this summer for sure.
Yeah.
Before I get too old.
Before you start filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I have to be behind the camera all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, well,
Is there anything else?
just over an hour.
Wow.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I don't know. I think we're probably good. Maybe if there is something else, we just have to have you back.
Yeah.
I'd love to be back. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll come back after we've started filming some stuff, and we can talk about the process. We can
Yeah, and we can
Mm.
we can maybe even show some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I can tonight send you that clip of you falling on the dump hill,
Sure.
and I'll send you the propane clip too.
Yeah.
Just
Do you
for-
want to put that in? We can put that in here.
I don't know if we want to put it in there, but oh yeah, if you want to, you can.
No,
for sure.
I will for
I just
sure.
I just think you both should have it.
Yeah.
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 Thanks
No.
so much for being on, Ben.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This is
it
really
was
fun.
good. Yeah, it is fun. It's fun. It's fun having you part of the crew, and it's fun having you here. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an awesome summer.
It's gonna be sweet.
Mhm.
I'm really excited.
Sweet.
Sessions at Raleigh's house in the backyard.
Oh yeah. I haven't talked about that yet.
Mini pie baby. We can crop that out if you want. That was really creepy.